Southwest Florida is home to a lot of fun, cute, and interesting animals, and a great place to learn about them is the Peace River Wildlife Center. That's also where you're going to find Executive Director Robin Jenkins. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Good morning.
You brought a few friends with you today.
I did.
What do you have for us?
I've got some gopher tortoises here that were attacked by dogs.
Oh my goodness. So this happens a lot, I guess, right?
It does periodically. It's just a kind of an odd coincidence that recently we've taken in about, well, more than half a dozen tortoises that have been attacked by dogs. Usually we get one or two, you know, now and then. But this big guy here is Legolas. He's one of our permanent residents, has been with us for a few years. He was attacked by a dog quite some time ago, missing most of his left front leg here and part of his right foot and an eye. So, yeah,
and typically, you know, especially being at the Peace River Wildlife Center where they can come and really live out the rest of their life when something like this happens, does he heal up okay, or what happens?
They do heal, but they heal so slowly. They're very slow growing. You know, these guys are about the size of a $50 when they're born.
Oh my goodness.
And within 3 years, they're not much bigger than that. So Legolas is probably, you know, 50 years old.
Wow.
And we've got this little guy that just came in, same kind of thing. He was chewed on by a dog. He's got some puncture wounds on his carapace here. Again, he's missing part of his leg, a few toes on the other leg. His plastron has some injuries as well. This guy is probably 20 years old, you know, 10 to 20 years old.
How long do they typically live?
They can live 75 years or better.
My goodness.
You know, we're not really exactly sure how long they live. Slow growing, which means they're very slow to heal as well. As long as their spinal cord hasn't been severed, they usually do pretty well. A lot of times, the best thing for them is to just leave them alone. When you find an injured one, if he's near his burrow or you know where his burrow is, he's in your yard, just get him to his burrow. They'll go in their burrow, hunker down, and they'll heal there. A lot of times if they come to our facility, the stress alone there for them slows the healing process. But with guys like this, they needed to be brought to us.
Yes, certainly.
These won't be releasable because they're missing their feet, and they need to be able to burrow to survive well in the wild.
Well, and certainly when you see, especially if you see it in action, if you catch the dog with it and you notice his leg like that, it's certainly something that's going to need attention. But how sad. Well, you know, we're so happy that there is a place that they can go, the Peace River Wildlife Center. If for some reason somebody hasn't heard of you guys or hasn't been out on the grounds to check you out, explain what you guys really have to offer and what they can see there.
Well, we are a wildlife rehabilitation facility. We take in orphaned and injured wildlife, get them healthy, and get them back out into the wild. Our secondary mission is education. So animals that are not releasable, like these tortoises, are on display for educational purposes. We're open 7 days a week from 11 to 4 for people to come and see. We have mostly birds on display. We have a couple mammals, a smattering of reptiles like these tortoises. And we, you know, help people understand how to live in harmony with these guys.
It's also a great place for the family to come out, you know, a great place for kids to learn too, right? You get a lot of kids out there as well.
We do, yeah. It's a great place. A lot of people, when they have friends come to visit from out of town, they'll bring them down there. See a little bit of, you know, the wildlife that's native to Florida.
And I know especially this time of year, Robin, you are always looking for volunteers. You really depend on volunteers a lot to help out the animals.
We do. We have a staff of 9 people. Most of them are part-time, and hundreds of volunteers that keep the place clean and safe and nice for the animals.
Is there kind of a dip once the snowbirds leave?
We have a lot of our volunteers are, you know, part-time residents. So this time of year we have a huge increase in patients because it's baby bird and mammal season, and a very big dip in our volunteers. So you know, any of the local people are more than welcome to come volunteer with us.
You are in Punta Gorda, so if somebody does want to come out and volunteer, what should they do? What's the best way to sign up? And
you can stop by the office and pick up a volunteer application. You can go on our website, peaceriverwildlifecenter.org, and print a volunteer application off of our website, fill it out, and bring it in.
I want to mention too, if you're an animal lover, I know that it's so important because you guys will accept donations as well, right?
We do.
You guys
we
do
get
depend on donations.
no federal or state funding at all. So we run the place completely by donation. Yeah.
So if you're an animal lover, you just want to help the community and the animals in our community, donate to the Peace River Wildlife Center. As she said, no state funding, and you guys really depend on us to help guys like Legolas out here. So Robin, thank you so much.
Great
to see you.
Great seeing you again.
And the more you know, the more your garden will grow. Up next, how knowledge is key when it comes to growing your garden green. The Edison Ford Winter States joins us for some garden talk next. But first, a look at your Fox forecast and news headlines.